Morning, Southeast Region.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, let's try that. Good morning, Southeast Region.
Good morning, sir.
See who's awake and who's not awake. First and foremost, Major General Select Vasquez, my distinguished colleague and brother in arms up there from Middle East Region, soon to depart with 2 wings. I'm just kidding. We have an ongoing bet. I'm trying to annex the Carolinas. He's trying to annex the region. It's a fair trade. I offer bet. No, seriously. I want to welcome all of you and I want to thank all of you. This will be informal. If you can't hear me back, turn up your hearing aids and raise your hand. The saying goes, I was in the Army. I can do a command voice. So I can make sure you're heard in the back and in the booth. We'll have an afternoon session right after lunch where we can do an Ask the Commander, where our future National Commander has graciously volunteered to join me, and also the Air Force has volunteered for a Q&A session. So we can come back to that. The wing commanders are brave. They may actually join me up there as well. It's a hint. Notice how quiet. They're all kind of shrinking down in their seats. What's that?
That was a painful quest that just hit us false.
Nothing but love for you, really. No, wait, new connection program. I can't say that out loud. Some are working on it. We'll get there. We're going to go through this fairly quickly on the overview. The same ones under the wings we'll talk about. My concerns for the future. We talked about Southeast 14. We are running for the first time a region-wide exercise which includes every wing in Southeast region, the Carolinas from Middle East region, and Kentucky from Great Lakes region, because all of those wings, with the exception of Puerto Rico, all fall within the boundaries of FEMA Region 4. FEMA Region 4 is also playing with us, so we will have the liaison at their facilities. We will do the uploads of our mission results into their system. So we're going to have 3 regions, 9 wings, and at least one, if not both, FEMA regions. Because Puerto Rico belongs in FEMA Region 2 with New York City. I haven't figured that one out. Yeah, I know. More air miles. Would someone please separate these two? We'll move on. Our objectives not changed. We talked about vision, values, cores, and change. Culture hasn't changed. When you look at 100 years of commercial aviation, people look at, why are we doing commercial? Well, let's think about it. We have a 3-bladed propeller in Civil Air Patrol. One of those might be, well, I don't know, aerospace education, cadet programs, emergency services. Part of aerospace ed is what? Promoting aviation to the population and internally. And we have commercial aviation, general aviation, and military aviation. This 3 things just keeps popping up. When Colonel Woody was up here talking about safety, 100 years ago, January 1, there was no such thing as commercial aviation. Until January 1, 1910, there had never been a regularly scheduled airline flight. When did Kitty Hawk happen? Oh, hi, sir. Someone from North Carolina might know that answer?
03, I believe.
Yes. So, 10 years and about 17 days after the first flight of Kitty Hawk, we have a regularly scheduled commercial airline, flying the great distance from downtown St. Petersburg at the water basin to downtown Tampa, across Tampa Bay. For those of you who are not familiar with the Bay, if you did fly that airplane flight, it was a 12-hour car drive and an 8-hour train ride, or a 2-hour ferry ride. Now, progress is a wonderful thing. We are 100 years later. Guess what? You can't drive between those 2 cities in less than 45 minutes. Yet a single-engine airplane, a Benoit 12, made the flight in 22 minutes. What's not reported is he also had to land halfway through because he had a maintenance issue. Yeah, we don't have those issues in commercial airlines anymore, do we? But the vision for 3 people, because, all right, cadets, who was the pilot? That's aerospace ed. Anyone in the audience, who was the pilot?
It's French.
French. No, actually, he was a Midwesterner, but that's Tony Janis. He was the pilot. Who was the mechanic? How many realized, and clearly not, Tony Janis's brother was the chief mechanic for the airline for all his flights. Didn't know that, did you? The Benoit Aircraft Company and another individual privately funded the airline because they believed it was possible. People say the airline lasted 3 months. Well, the airline was set up to take profitability of what we have in Florida. We have this thing called the snowbird season. It's not something that's recent. It's been going on for 100+ years. So they set the airline up to fly tourists who had money between the two cities when they came down on the trains and went to the railroad hotels on Tampa and St. Pete. It wasn't intended to go beyond that. They proved the success. They ran the airline. But what happened in August 1914? 100 years ago, World War I. World War I caused a complete cessation of commercial airline growth for a decade. But it's that vision, it's that thought, that willingness to fail. That's part of what we're trying to strive for. So with that, welcome to the conference. Our vision, goals, and objectives. With all due respect to the other 7 members of the region team, we want to be number 1. It's that simple. I want this region to be an example. We are the largest by numbers. Within FEMA Region 4, we're the most active usually in terms of issues, hurricanes, floods, straight line winds. But guess what? When's the last time a major event hit Southeast region? Anybody?
2005.
Yeah, it's been 10 years this year since the 4 hurricanes visited Florida. 3 of them paid a visit to my house. And it's been 9 years since Katrina. So we've been very lucky. One of the things we're going to do in Southeast 2014 is go back and remind us how we do area commands, how we do large-scale operations, because it's been 10 years. Deepwater Horizon was a long-term event with very few people involved. That's the difference. I put 150 days out, but I only have a handful of people. It's not a, let's go out and do 9 counties in Mississippi. Let's go out and do all of Louisiana. Let's go out and do 12 counties in Texas. Let's go out and do a deep Sandy, Superstorm Sandy. Completely different scope and scale. So that's the intent. Highly said, we're doing very well on CIs. One of our wings just went through the new CI format, and they actually did so well, thank you Alabama, that it finished on Sunday afternoon as opposed to 5 o'clock on Monday. So the new system works. We'll see more of those. You'll see the SAV system coming into alignment as well. But we do have some challenges. We're expanding the missions, getting more people involved is part of our challenge. Our objective, 18,750 flying hours based on the airplanes we have today. You'll see the numbers in a bit. We have a ways to go. O-rides for gliders, 1,500, 1,700 sorties total. AEX, fewer than 12% of the, we have, for example, the Superior Cadet Award, 242 units, 230 of them eligible, 24 basic qualifications. So we have places where we need to improve. Headquarters, I'm looking for a Command Master Chief. The NCO program is currently in stage 1, which is establishing the transition for military members who came into the CAP and decided to keep their NCO grade. If things stand. Yes, okay. Anybody want to be his senior list advisor? Applications are being accepted. Here's our challenge. Under the current structure agreement with the Air Force, 1 October, Phase 1 implements, which means anyone who's wearing stripes in the CAP uniform will have to convert to the new CAP stripes. Anyone who wants to ascend into CAP as an NCO will no longer be to a transition from their NCO grade to their officer grade. They will come in at the NCO grade. As we move from Phase 1 to Phase 2 to Phase 3, which is roughly a 24-month to 36-month journey, so about 18 months from now you'll start seeing this pop up, we will have a way of bringing in CAP adult members as NCOs and let them move up through the NCO chain as opposed to the officer chain should they desire. So we're going to generate an NCO corps in the program, but it's not something you do overnight. It requires us to change the uniform regs, the professional development regs, the time and grade and movement positions, building a career path for NCOs to go from staff sergeant to Chief Master Sergeant. So it is in progress. Questions on that? 1:30, I think. But I'm trying to find someone to fill the position at the region. I'm sure that our current command chief would love to have other chiefs talking to her on the phone as opposed to us region commanders and wing commanders who sit there and whisper advice in her ear. The staff itself, by regulation, this is the staff that reports directly to me. The rest of the organization, we've been running with the A staff for, well, since 2007, and it's worked very well. Personnel, etc. A3, air and ground operations, because contrary to everyone's belief, operations is not just about airplanes. This conference is an operationally executed event. The drill competition is operationally executed. Anytime you're doing an activity, it's operations. What we do when we're talking about air ground search rescue is emergency services operations, as opposed to cadet program operations or aerospace ed operations. Logistics, supply maintenance, we're doing well there. I think I have one unit that's currently not fully reported. It's like, you see I have numbers like new unit activated, I have the unit standing down, but by and large we're 100%. Vehicles 100%. Aircraft reporting as of Wednesday, 100% early. I thank the wing commanders. That's how we know we're doing well. A5, plans and programs, so things like cadet programs, those types of things that are institution-wide are there. Have a special prize for someone is. What is the one thing that's mandated that every member in CAP is required to do?
OPSEC.
No, OPSEC, but I'm talking mission-wise. We have 3 missions. What's the one mission that's mandated to every member, no matter your status? Yes, sir. Aerospace education. Read the regs and their charter. It's the only thing that is mandatory for every single member in this organization, no matter their status, to participate in and execute. The others are things we do by policy. How many of you remember reading that in your level 1 orientation? Oh, wait, when did I do that? It's easy to forget because it's so infused with everything we do. Communications, everything, internal, external, we're blogging. Hashtag you should be here, why aren't you here now, hashtag. Hashtag cadets having a great time. Hashtag commanders not sleeping in the back row. Yeah, I'm going to pay for this later. And then my resource manager, Sheridan, keeps the money straight and keeps us out of trouble. She's waving in the back. You should not be sitting so close to the exit. That concerns me.